Hello. Oh, I don't know if I've frozen. I'm back. My name's Helen. I'm going to take you through a really nice, gentle yoga flow that is going to help with a little bit of strengthening of the hamstrings and stretching. Your hamstring muscle is the muscle that is behind the knee and up towards the bum. So we're going to be releasing that. You'll need a yoga mat if you have one. If not, just make sure it's quite a comfortable surface. Maybe have some cushions for your knees. Move at a pace that suits you. Make sure if you're like, oh, I can't do it, don't feel deflated. Don't feel like you're better or worse than at any stage. We've just got to meet your body wherever it's at today. So things like if it's a little bit faster, you might like to have things like blocks so that you can use your hands to create a little bit of incline. I'll go through that when we get there. But for now, just start by lying down on your back, please. So roll down, get comfortable. We're going to take a couple of minutes to just pause and breathe. And that can be with your legs bent, your legs extended. You could lie on your side of your back. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your mouth and sigh out. And then just do that again. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale through your mouth and sigh out. And start to breathe in and out through the nose. Each time you breathe out, just imagining relaxing somewhere. So relaxing the features around your face. Relaxing around your muscles, the muscles around the joints. So you can just become a little bit heavier into the ground every time you breathe out. And see if you notice any little changes in your body that happen just from taking a really short moment to pause, to breathe, and be still. Next time you breathe in, if you're not lying on your back, just make your way around. And then lengthen your left leg on the floor and hug the right knee in towards your body. Give the knee a gentle squeeze, feeling that stretch going to the back of the hip. And a gentle stretch in the hamstring. If it's not feeling gentle, bring your left foot in closer. The closer it is, the more it will take off some of that tension. The further away, it just adds a little bit more. So at any stage, you use your other leg to help control. And switch your legs over. Take a few breaths. Adjust your right foot as needed. Hug the leg in as much or as little as you need. Switch your legs again. This time hold on to the back of the thigh. And then you're going to start to lengthen the leg as much as you can until it feels like it gets a little bit stuck, and then bend. Do not force it to the point where you get a pulling sensation that is so much that it feels like it's going to cause any injury, or it feels like it's a strain or makes you have to hold your breath. Or if you wouldn't be able to talk, just bend and straighten continuously, straight to the point that you can get to before you're restricted. Same option applies to the left foot. If you need to take off some of the tension, just bring the left leg in a little bit closer. And we're going to switch over to the other side again. Hugging in the left leg, holding onto the back of the thigh, and start to lengthen and bend. Lengthen does not mean it goes to a fully straight leg. It might go, depends on your hamstring flexibility. Inhale every time you lengthen. Exhale to relax. And then hug both knees in towards your body. Tucking your chin around your back and start to rock yourself forward and backwards until you create enough momentum that you can sit up. Have a little pause, lean over your leg just as far as you can. Round your back, hug your knees in, and repeat. Rock backwards and forwards. Extend your legs forward and fold over the thighs, and go again another time. Rocking backwards and forwards. And then when you're ready, lengthening. Then we're going to stay here and just almost kind of bounce forward and back. Not bounce, but move dynamically. So my fold by, this is my limitations. This is where I need to stop. You might be able to go way further. You might find yourself naturally coming chest to the thighs. You also may be way smaller and being more upright. Again, there's no right or wrong. It's just your body, and you meet your body where your body is today. You don't try and get to someone else's shape. I can't show you further forward than I can, but I'm sure you'll know if you're flexible. Perfect. You're just going to bring your hands behind. Let's scooch off like that. Bring your hands behind just to help support you. And you're going to dig in your right heel into the floor. Press it down. You should feel the hamstring, the muscle down the back of the leg, contract a little bit. Dig in, pressing it down, almost think about pulling the floor towards you, and then switch. So just slightly dig a crook in the knee, dig your left heel down, and hope you're feeling a little bit of contraction. It might be in the calves, which is below the knee, might be the hamstrings, but hopefully you feel something starting to fire up a little bit. And then switch again, and this time dig the heel in and actually drag in towards you. Drag the heel in. And then push the leg away and switch legs, dragging the left heel in, thinking about pulling your mat towards you. You can actually see my mat moving, and then pressing away again. So you're in control of how hard your muscles contract. The harder you press your foot into the floor, the harder it contracts, the lighter the less. Now make sure your hands are in a comfortable position. So if that's fingers forward, side, back, it doesn't really matter. Make sure shoulders away from the ears. You're going to pull the right leg in, drag it in. Now place the foot down, lift your hips up, and now you should feel your left hamstring contract. Maybe your toes can go towards the floor and then come back down. We switch sides. So switching the legs out, drag the left heel in. You feel your left hamstring contract. Place the foot down, push into hands and feet, and feel your right hamstring contract. Maybe bum a little bit in the back. Come down, one more each side. If you find, God, my wrists and shoulders are getting too much, you can get rid where you could do the drag. And if you can't actually lift your bum off, but you can still apply pressure, that's perfect too. One more. Drag. And press. We're going to roll over. Spread your fingers a lot. Tuck your toes under and lift your hips into a downward facing dog. Tuck your chin so your head and neck can relax. I'm just going to paddle out the feet, pushing one heel towards the floor, then the other. Keeping alternating legs. Should feel that good stretch down the hamstring and into the calf. Make sure your fingers are really spread. You push towards your fingertips so it's not just all the way into the wrist. And think about actively pushing your shoulders away from your ears. Again, there's no need to fully straighten your leg or push the heel all the way down if it doesn't get there. And then finding stillness, lift your heels, bend your knees, and lunge your right foot between the hands. Which, if you can't get it all the way through, come as far as you can. Drop the left knee down, pick up the foot and help it there to get the knee aligned over the ankle. We're just going to do a hip and hamstring stretch. So drop the hips of the chest and then move the hips back, stretch the hamstring. So you'll feel your left hip flexor and then your right hamstring. Breathe in as you come forward. Breathe out as you shift back. Next time your hips are back, hold them back. It doesn't need to be a fully straight leg. Just lift your right arm up and then bring the hand back down towards the floor. So your chest is going to twist. You should feel the stretch go slightly down the side of the leg, the side of the hip, and then return back down. And let's come one more. Perfect. We repeat other side. So just set yourself back into a downward dog. Have a little paddle out the feet again. You might notice you get a few clicks at the start. I love this when I teach classes. You tend to hear the whole room click, 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 clicking every once in a while. And then the more we move, the less clicks there are. As the body just starts to get warmer, the joints more lubricated for that blood flow. So even if you were to have to stop now, you've already done some good movement into the body. And then when you're ready, bend your knees and lunge your left foot between the hands. And again, help if you need to, just putting the right knee down and helping the foot forward. Get the knee over the ankle. Everyone right knee down, release the foot. And let's rock forward and back. Breathing in, lift the chest. Breathing out, folding over your thigh. And the next time your hips are back, hold it back and lift your right arm up, twist, and land the hand back down. Breathing in as you open, breathing out as you close. Land the hand. Shift your weight forward, tuck the right toe, lift the knee, and then step forward to a forward fold. And just hang out here, nod your head, shake your head so your neck and head can relax. This is where you may want to go, when we go into a sun salutation, you may want to set like a block or books to make your hands be a bit higher so it's easier to step back to. Not something that's necessary, maybe it just takes you a little bit longer to get into a position, but that's okay. Let's flow, extended mountain, rise up, circle your arms wide and press your palms overhead. Forward fold, bend your knees and dive forward, lifting the tailbone and then tucking in the chin. Step your right foot way back to a low lunge. Lower the hips and lift the chest. Downward dog, feet hip distance and hips lift up high. Round your back, tuck your chin and roll forward until you're in plank position. Drop the knees to the floor, bracing the belly, so tucking your tailbone under. Bend your elbows back towards your ribs, lowering to crocodile and then lowering all the way down for baby cobra. Push the hips down, squeeze your back and lift the chest. And downward dog, pushing hands, tuck toes, lift knees. Bend your knees And then step both feet between your hands. Take as many steps as you need until you can then fold again over your thighs. And then let's add the breath. Inhale, extend your mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Breathe in, left leg to lunge. And breathe out, down dog. Inhale, moving to plank. Exhale, option knees to floor or not as you lower to crocodile. Make sure the hips don't sag. And then breathe in baby cobra or push into your hands for cobra. You might like to push into the feet and the hands for up dog. Breathe out, down dog. Inhale, bend your knees. Step your feet forward into a fold and exhale. Fold over your thighs. Inhale, extend the mountain. Change the sequence. Exhale and fold forwards. Tuck your chin. Step right foot way back to low lunge. Drop the hips, lift the chest, then drop right heel down to the floor. Notice if your hips lifted up again, try and ground, and then lift up to warrior one. Hips stay square towards your left knee. Open your arms, open your chest to warrior two. So your hips going to roll back. You may need to step back a little bit. Now in any of our warrior poses, if you find it's too much, you just get your feet closer to one another. Same as in warrior one. So you shorten your stance and you'll go wider stance if you want a little bit more. Back to warrior one. Breathe in with square the hip, and you may need to adjust your foot so you can roll the hip round. Pyramid pose. Bring hands to hips. Lengthen your left leg. Push your hips back and dive your chest forward. So you might come forward a little bit. You might have a slight bend in the knee. You might be fully straight. You're going to feel a bit of a stretch down the back of the leg. You may be able to fold all the way. Bend left knee again. Rise, warrior one. Warrior two, opening again, maybe stepping the foot back so you can have a more open hip. Triangle pose, lengthen the left leg, hinge at the hip, and then reach over your left leg. Feel a bit of a stretch in the inner thigh hamstring, and land your hand wherever it lands. Now again, you might need to have a bit more of a knee bend. If you've got hypermobile knees, meaning your knees kind of bend this way, definitely take a crook in the knee. Never lock out. Bend and rise. Warrior two again. Inhale, warrior one. Turn your body, adjust your foot as you need. Exhale, bring hands to the hips. Breathe in, lengthen the leg. Breathe out, fold forwards, pyramid pose. Coming into a twisted pyramid, so your right hand can come across anywhere onto the left leg to turn your body, or you might be able to reach the floor. Left hand can stay on the hip, or you might want to reach it up. And then bend left knee again. Swoop the arms up, warrior one. Open into warrior two. Lengthen left leg. Reach and hinge. Maybe you can reach a little bit further this time, and then land your arm towards the thigh. Open up the chest, spiral open. We're going to balance in floating half moon. So bend your left knee, keep your arms wide, and start to shift your weight into your left leg. And then you're trying to balance lifting your right leg off the floor. Now, if that is too much, you just tap your foot down at any point. I always recommend trying to balance, even if you fail and tap down loads, rather than try and hold on to something if possible. Steady your eyes to some point in the floor. We're going to turn the chest into airplane. Hip rolls down, squaring off to the floor. Maybe the leg has to land. And then keep turning. Right hand drops, chest turns even more to the left. And then land hands down the floor, land the right leg way back. Lowering into your low lunge, downward dog. Move forward to plank. Knees or toes, lower to crocodile. Choose the back extension that feels good. Baby cobra, cobra or up dog. And breathe out, downward dog. Have a little pause here, paddle out the feet. Notice if you manage to get your legs any longer. And then bend your knees and lunge your right foot between the hands. I'm just going to switch sides. Lunge the right foot in between. Get the knee over the ankle. Drop the hips, lift the chest. Left heel comes down. Drop the hips again and then rise up, warrior one. So we're repeating that same sequence on the other side. So again, if you need less, your feet are in closer to one another. With warrior one, because we're looking to square the hips, maybe you set the feet wider apart, so maybe as wide as your mat. If you're flexible, you may be able to get feet closer to one behind the other. Arms are rising. Open up warrior two. Open wide. You're going to pull both thighs backwards. Maybe adjust your foot. Maybe adjust the length of your stance. You're looking for right knee over right ankle and for the hips to sink evenly down in between. Back to warrior one. Breathe in. Turn your body. Adjust your feet. Breathe out, hands to hips. And inhale, lengthen the leg, tip forward, exhale, fold forward, pyramid pose. Breathe in, bend right knee, and reach your arms up, warrior one. Breathe out, open to warrior two. Adjust your feet, take longer if you need to. Breathe in, lengthen the leg. Breathe out, hinge at the hip. Now keep breathing in again and reach as far as you can before you exhale. And land the hand wherever it lands. If it's the upper leg, the lower leg, the floor. Making sure if it's the floor, it's not from bending your back, but it's from how far you've been able to hinge. Bend the knee. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, ground into your hips. Breathe in, warrior one. Turn. Adjust. Breathe out, hands to hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, tip and dive, pyramid. Twisted pyramid, take your left arm across somewhere on the leg. Turn your chest towards the right. You might keep your hands high. You might be low. You might have your hand to the side, either side of the foot, work for your range. Right hand can stay on the hip or reach and extend. And then release, bend again. Back to warrior one. Warrior two, open wide. Triangle pose. Breathe in, hinge. Breathe out and land. Let's see how our balance is on this side. Bend the right knee. Open the arms. Set your eye gaze to somewhere on the floor so you can shift your weight and lift off. And I should say, if you're like what I'm about to be, which is really near something, it's so hard to not hold on. So I always recommend trying to do it in a bit more open space. We naturally gravitate to the thing that we're near to. It's something I don't think we can really control. And then we turn into airplane, breathing in, breathing out. Steady your eyes again. Try and re-find your balance. If you've lost it, just try and hold again. If not, inhale and keep opening. Twisting other way. And then as you exhale, land the hands to the floor. Step way back into your low lunge, downward dog. Final bit of strength sequence. Inhale, lift your right leg up, three-legged dog. Feel the stretch come deeper into your left leg. Your left knee can be bent. Land the leg. Let's repeat other sides. Left leg lifts. And lowers. Right leg again. We're going to keep adding on as an option. So if you don't want to take the option, you don't have to. Breathe in, right leg lifts again. Open hip, bend the knee. Roll the hip open. Thinking about tapping your right toe towards your left shoulder. Lengthen back to warrior three again, squaring the hip. Warrior three, what's this called? Three-legged dog. And then landing the foot down. Other side, breathe in, left leg lifts. Square hip. Breathe out, bend the knee and open the hip. Rolling open. Inhale back to warrior three. I keep saying warrior three, I'm sorry. Three-legged dog. Exhale, land the leg. You've got the option to add on to an advanced pose. So please, again, don't feel the pressure to do it. Right leg lifts. Knee bends and hip opens. This may be where you stay. If you know how to flip into wild thing, then you do that. You shift your weight into your left hand, your left foot. Keep on flipping until your right foot lands and you lift your hips up. And then back to warrior then. Three-legged dog with bent knee. Lengthen the leg. And land, and let's repeat other side. Thankfully it's not for too long. Other side, let's lift left leg. Knee bends, find open hip. And then choose if you want to flip or stay. Flipping, shifting into the right hand, right leg. Landing the foot down, driving the hips up. Returning back into warrior three. Oh, goodness sake. Three-legged dog with bent leg. Back into three-legged dog with a closed hip. Land the leg down. One final pause in your down dog. Maybe moving, maybe holding. And then land your knees to the floor. Whoosh. Long time on the shoulders. Just sit up, have a little shake off. Really well done. All the strength done. Sit down on your bum. Stretch your legs forward like we did before at the start. You're going to pull your hips backwards. So physically pull the back. It's going to help to angle your pelvis forwards. So you see how I'm slightly sitting forward rather than leaning back. If you find you're still leaning back like this, bend your knees. And then again, hoik, hoik, and you should find you get that sitting upright. Don't feel you should go with straight legs. Big knee bend if you need, hoik, hoik. Tipping forward is the goal. And then we're just going to breathe. And as you exhale, see if you can tip from your hips to come forward. So maybe you land your hands on your legs. Maybe you find that a bit challenging, so you just take your hands behind to help you with your posture. Maybe you've got straight legs, maybe you can reach your feet, maybe you can fold all the way. I can't fold without really rounding my back, so for me, I'm a little bit higher. And just take a few final breaths here. And when you breathe in, you can think about contracting your kneecaps so that when you breathe out, you might be able to come a little bit further forward. Maybe not, but if we contract and shorten the muscle at the front, it helps with lengthening the muscle at the back. Just take one final breath in. And one final breath out. And then one little counter pose, roll your way up like we did before at the start. Bring your hands behind, roll back the shoulders, push the floor away, chest is open. Now you can choose, you can have both legs straight and lift your hips up, or you can bend one leg and lift your hips up. So choose what suits. We're just there for one moment. Landing back down, switching the legs if you're on the one, if you're on the two, just take that pause, reset, and then we lift up again. If you're on two but your hips are low, maybe bend the knee. So we're looking to try and press your whole foot into the floor. And land yourself down. Scoot your butt in towards your heels. Hold onto your thighs, help roll down onto your back. We're going to finish Vinyasa, so with some stillness again. So start with movement. Move around a little bit. Get any fidgets in, any movement in. Maybe a little bit of stretching, and then gradually slow your breathing down. And as you slow your breathing down, start to slow your movement down, make it less and less. Only pausing when you've landed in a position that feels comfortable. That can be on your side, on your back, on your front. Arms overhead, to the side, on the floor, on your belly. Maybe close down your eyes. Heart rate will have come up with all that strength work. So now work on elongating your out breath. Thinking and letting go again. Allow the floor to support your entire body. Only time for a short shavasana. So if you want to stay longer, please do. And if you're ready to move again, reverse what you just did. So start to breathe in deeper and then start bringing little bits of movement in. Starting with wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe taking a full body stretch. And then you might like to hug your knees in towards your body. Moving or not. You can rock yourself forward or back, or you can roll onto your side for a moment, pausing in the fetal position. Whenever you are ready to come back up, take another moment, another pause. So sit anywhere that's comfortable. Just take one final breath. Thank you so much. Hopefully you've enjoyed.